The Tyreek had a punt return, the -2. Should he have fielded that, the one that bounced?
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row where he's actually done a fabulous job in saving field position. You know, the ball, the previous ball was a ball that was a not a great ball, and he got on it before it rolled for another 8 or 10 yards, and then the ball this past Sunday, the guy hits an absolute bomb, 73 yards, and again, saving field position by getting on it. So he's got 2 returns, each for -2, and but both of them are good plays because he's saving field position. Again, it's where stats sometimes they tell you one thing, but probably saved us about 18 yards of field position on those 2 plays, and we'll take the -4 as opposed to the -18.
Did it surprise you that Javon muffed that punt early?
You know what? Anytime that you never like to see it. I think he took a late peek. As he was coming over to fair catch, it got a little bit of a cutter ball played from outside in, and he was looking outside in. So it's always a dangerous deal. It's scary, but those things happen. Hopefully, we don't have many of those because those are the disaster plays that you gotta avoid. But there's another example of
Mike said that there's been a lot of good plays, but Mike said there's other things that just not the way you guys have wanted to go. When you get things that haven't gone your way in so many different areas of special teams, what do you do? How do you work on that in? And I used dissatisfied with some of those things that have gone.
Well, of course, the job is to help win games. That's the job. And when you have plays that are not leading to you and your club winning the games, it's I don't know if disappointing is the word. There's a lot of other words I would maybe use, but it's not why you're in it. But those are the things you got to eliminate. Now, we also know that that things come and go, and there's ebbs and flows, and that's part of it. But we've got to be able to create some more plays, and our opportunities have been limited. We've had 6 punt returns for the year, and 2 of them are Tyreek saving field position. One of them's Holland on the muff, as you just mentioned. So we got 3 returns in 6 games. So, when we do get the opportunities, those are the things we got to take advantage of. And then those plays where we got an opportunity to make a play, you got to make it. You get a chance to make a tackle, you make a tackle. You don't make the tackle, and next thing you know, it's 20 more yards of field position. So, you just keep grinding. You stay with the fundamentals, which we've got some guys moving around a little bit, but you got to make plays when you're in position to make plays. If we can just do that, we'll be fine.
Punt returns down across the league. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, they're not, but certain teams, the numbers play out, but some teams have a boatload of them. Some teams have hardly any of them. We've had so many, plus 50 opportunities where, we haven't really gotten opportunities. We've really only had 2 really good, chances for the year. And some of them it's, they hit a good ball or they hit a bad ball and you don't get things. That's just part of it. So those numbers will change and it'll balance out. That's when we do get the ops. Now's when we got to make something happen.
And we had grown accustomed to seeing Jason hit field goals over 50 yards pretty consistently until this year. Has there been a common theme in the 3 misses that you've found?
There really hasn't. This past week was the first one that was a bad ball. That was a bad hit. A lot of his other hits, as we've talked about, are just missed, off the upright, what have you. When we send him on the field, we expect points. That's the nature of the beast. It doesn't matter, if it's 52, 54, 36. When we send him on the field, we expect to get points out of it. So that kick was a rarity in my opinion. And again, I can say that because I'm with him day in and day out, and I watch and see every kick he makes. So that was a rarity. But the bottom line is it doesn't matter what you do during the week. You're judged by what you do on game day. And we know that, he knows that, and we got to improve.
There was a time when 50-plus yard field goals were almost viewed as a bonus if you were able to hit them. Nowadays, is it more an expectation you try your kicker out that you'll be able to hit that?
Without question. Yeah, without question. And then you look at the numbers around the league over the last years. They're they go up every year, and those are. It used to be a strength / question. Now the strength of kickers being able to kick 56, 57, 58 yarders is not part of it. Now the question and the equation is field position, how the game's going. Are you playing to the offense? Are you playing to the defense? Now those are more the situation questions.
That miss was a 4th and 10, but should you guys have gotten a running into the kicker? It looked like Jason got leg whipped.
Yeah, you know, those are hard calls. Unless things are just blatant and exact timed up, that's not a call that's going to happen. So, but bottom line is, yeah, if we get the call, let's get the call, but let's make the kick and then have a choice.
Coach, I don't know if you happened to see the Monday night game, but it ended basically off of a muff punt where the return man was blocked or had a teammate blocked into him.
Correct.
I was thinking about you when I saw the play. I was curious, how would coach you to not have your own guy get blocked into you? Like, what's the coaching point there? And on the other side, do you coach guys to try to push the guy into the return?
To question one, it's hard. That's where communication and awareness and recognition is so big for not only the returner, but for the corner, for the safety. And then, yes, you know, as a gunner, you know, you are not able to touch that guy on a fair catch. So if you have an opportunity to deposit the defender into his lap and he's the one that makes contact, it is a legal play. But yes, everybody in the league should and does work that, as far as I know.
It looked like a little bit of that happened with Javon Pollard, am I?
Yeah, close. Yeah, close. He was, you know, he thought where the ball was, he would be able to duck inside, and the ball cut, and ended up playing that way. But that's where, again, communication and recognition comes huge.
There was a national game where the kicker sort of kicked through injury. I forget which team it was. Or
Yeah.
maybe the
Same game.
same game as that
Yeah.
Travis watched. We were not watching it together. But I wondered, oh gosh, maybe the punter would be the emergency backup kicker. And my question is, does Morstead, does he ever take any sort of emergency practice kicks? Or not?
We have guys that practice everything for an emergency. Yeah.